go. It was hidden by your camera. Hello, Summoners. This is Yonks with Disney Arena Pro. And we're sitting here with MintChocoChip. We're hanging out with our Gameside Chat. And I guess this is the unveiling of MintChocoChip on camera. Hello, Summoners. This is Yonks with Disney Arena Pro. So good evening, sir. How are you doing?
Doing good. Lots of good things happening in the game. Hopefully things are going well over there too, over in Disney Arena Pro.
Yeah, we just finished off a really strong club conquest, which was super excited about. That was actually our club's first club conquest, and it's been a interesting journey there. But don't want to talk too much about myself here. You are the featured guest tonight on the inaugural Disney Arena Pro. So we do have the game up here right now. So I would like to hear your perspective. There's been a lot of back and forth on the Queen's Clash event. So what's your thoughts here, Mint Choco Chip, on this Zerg event?
No, I mean, I had a video on that. It was unreasonably difficult in order to unlock Zerg if you weren't weren't buying a ton of packs. The drop rates were pretty bad. I even had it on the stream. I think I will say that it's accurate, the percentages based on all the testing that I did of all the packs I've opened, but it's also extremely frustrating. So Queen's Clash is probably going to be the one that I care the least about as far as investment until I have a full 7-star Gear 7 team. Because I mean, if you go into the event, like you can't even access a majority of the drops until you have a full team at Gear 6. It only gets you up to the second to last tier, right? So you have to have everyone at 7 stars, everyone at Gear 7.
It is a pretty high list of requirements, and like me, I only started farming downtown villains fairly recently here, so it was definitely an uphill battle, and I don't think I would have made as much progress on this event without opening up, well, for sure without opening up my wallet, because Zerg actually became one of my downtown villains that was at the 5-star level so that I could make progress into chapter 5.
Yeah, no, my roster is not that far. Unfortunately, my computer's not quite cooperating, so we're not able to see mine either. But I have 4 stars so for Big Bad Wolf, who's at 5 stars. So I mean, I'll get it probably the next time around. I'm only, I think, four pieces of Zerg from unlocking Zerg to getting him at least to 4-star unlock. But I doubt I'm gonna be able to get where he's competitive at all. Especially since Onward is coming out, and I'll be able to probably get the Onward characters to 7 stars in this go around. So
Nice. So let's circle back on the Onward event here. I would like to get to know you a little bit more. So when we were having a little bit of conversation the other day, you said that you are a day one global launch player. So how did this game show up on your radar as far as this is a game that I would like to play? So tell me a little bit about that.
yeah, so I play another game, Disney Heroes Battle Mode, and that's kind of where I started in doing any sort of like YouTube work, was filling a need that I felt was there, that I could actually add a little bit to the community. So I started doing that, and in talking to people, there was a beta player who was also very active in the Discord that I'm in for Disney Heroes Battle Mode, who was like, "Yo, this game's getting close to global launch. You guys should check it out." So I pre-registered. Unfortunately, I was after the last wave of beta players that they were bringing into the game, so I wasn't able to get there before the game went to global launch. But I was able to get there as soon as it came out. I was on the Discord already, so I was just kind of watching as people were saying that it was a couple days, maybe even a couple hours away from global launch. And if you pre-register, you also get the special Sorcerer Mickey outfit, and I think a talisman also if you came in within the first couple days, and if you had pre-registered. So definitely got a hold of that.
Yeah, I think they actually ran the Sorcerer's Apprentice Mickey, because I actually wasn't I started playing on April 1st, and then my wife's account, Mrs. Yonks, and I just barely started doing some content on that. She started, well, hit level 10 on April 22nd, and I think that she has that on her account as well. So, oh, and here's that talisman that you were talking about. That's actually one of the things that I kind of like collecting myself, and probably unnecessarily spend money on, is collecting some talismans. And it's the Magic Kingdom one here, I think. Yeah, this one, Magical Beginnings Talisman.
Yeah, I think they're still giving it out if you're still starting accounts. But anyway, yeah, so it was fun. I mean, I got to go in right away. Had no idea what I was doing. Fortunately, there's a really active Discord, a lot of really great people on there that made it fun and enjoyable for me to be a part of. So yeah, no, I mean, like,
are you talking about a specific Discord server, or?
Yeah, the official. So that's how I got even into the into knowing about the game before it launched. The official
Gotcha.
Discord was opened a little ways before global, and that's where I went first before I really did a lot of research into the game. So, no,
Nice.
I have to say the fact that they have an official Discord that they run, that they operate, was a really big draw to me. Having been playing a lot of other mobile games, I play Star Wars. I play Disney Heroes Battle Mode, and both of them, it seems like it's pulling teeth to try to get any information out of the developers or even have any kind of relationship with them. But here it seems like they're so accessible that's actually kind of fun to be around them.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that just came out here fairly recently, was the update from 10.6 or something like that to 11.0. So how are you feeling about the do you only play on BlueStacks, or do you also play on some mobile device?
Yeah, so I do have it on my phone. Actually, I'm just noticing you're playing one of the members of my club right
Oh
there.
yeah, yep. That's funny. You should throw and I'll actually do a screenshot. Well, it's being recorded on YouTube, but I am a screenshot junkie. Anybody that has seen any of my videos. So anyway, so how did you get the idea of becoming a YouTuber for Disney Sorcerer's Arena? Is this your foray into YouTubing and creating content?
I had a little bit of a head start. I've been doing it since I think the end of February. I was doing Disney Heroes Battle Mode, so there aren't a lot of YouTubers that cover that game. I've been playing that one since I was a couple weeks after global launch on that game. But yeah, no, I jumped on that just because the YouTubers have kind of gotten pretty established. It stopped being how to help the players and more about, hey, I've spent a lot of money in the game, and like, this is what end game content looks like. This is like unlocking brand new characters day one, getting it to the full investment to max level, max gear, because it's very similar in every single respect to any single of the gacha games. Gameplay is a little different, but that was the thing in every single YouTuber that I was finding is like, man, they're killing it because they're just spending all the money to unlock everything as soon as it comes out. And I was like, you know what? I feel like there's a gap in the content they're putting out, because there's a lot of new people coming, because people are constantly coming into that game and this game from other games where they don't really want to be spending money. They got tired of being so far behind, so they jump into another game to try it out.
Right.
We have a lot of people that come in from Star Wars, from Marvel Strike Force, and I was like, seeing this subreddit every single day is just bombarded with, hey, is this character good? Hey, is this character, like, who should I be getting right at the beginning? Like, how do I do this game mode? Are there any tips, any YouTubers out there that are doing like beginner content? And so after seeing that for a couple months, I was like, you know what if I just I watch a lot of YouTube. I know what makes a good YouTube video. Why don't I just try to do it myself? And eventually I got in there. Eventually I figured out how to start a channel. The first time I ever had a video that got like 10 views, I was pretty incredible. And
which one was that? Just out of curiosity.
I think my first video was my best performing video up until I did a video called "How to Build a Smart Team." Is the name of that video, which I posted probably 3-4 weeks after launch for Sorcerer's Arena, and that one got caught up by the YouTube algorithm. So that one is still my most watched video. I'll probably even just do an update to that one just because that would be interesting to me. But yeah, up until that point, it was like I had a intro video, which is like, what is this game? And just like slowly but surely, it started creeping up a little bit, and people started popping in. And right before global launch, I think I had like 30 subs, and I was feeling pretty good about myself. And then Sorcerer's Arena came out, and my wife was telling me, "Yo, you know what? You've been like, I know you want to play this game, and it's gonna be brand new. Very few people are gonna be covering it right now. Like, you should get the jump on it." And so I started making videos on it since global launch here. And now I'm sitting over 150 subs. Thanks mostly in part to the Sorcerer's Arena. There's being quick onto the draw there has really helped my ability to get into people's daily repertoire of videos that they're watching. So my goal is eventually to get up so I'm doing this somewhat consistently. I don't think this is ever going to be my full-time gig, but being able to do lots of content, stream as much as possible, I think that'd be fun for me. I like to think that people are enjoying my content since it's getting more and more popular as the game continues to grow.
Sure, no, absolutely. Well, it was funny. You mentioned your wife, and I remember sitting on one of your streams, and she popped on there, and it's like, yeah, it's time for dinner. That was
She is my number one fan. She has been very supportive. She's not always supportive of my attachment to the games that I play, but she is very supportive of me, and she makes sure to watch every single video that I put out, even though she can listen in in the other room to when I'm making it. It's really nice to have someone that's supportive and fun. Like, she doesn't understand my love of gaming in this way, but she does really love. Obviously, she loves me, and she really likes supporting me, and she sees how much fun I have in it. And so
that's fabulous. So does she play the game, or is she a gamer herself?
No, she is not. So that's kind of the fun of it, is that we're very different in a lot of ways, especially in the amount of gaming we've done. But
Nice.
yeah, I mean, like that's not something that we necessarily connected on per se, but it's something that we continue to enjoy together. She enjoys supporting me and watching my videos.
No, that's fabulous. So what are you like, if you had to have one improvement about the game based upon your experience, what would you say that would be right now today?
I really like a lot of the things that they're doing in the game. I mean, like, as far as I'm concerned, there isn't a lot that I look at and I say this is something that is wrong with the game right now, because I really wish, probably if I had one thing to say more than anything else, I'd say that I really think that there has to be a better way to get the resources that you need to continue to level up. They have fixed the drop rates. This is the newest update. They have kind of worked on the drop rates a little bit to make it a little bit more fair. But there's a lot of other things out there that you need. Like, the runes probably is the biggest holdup for me. So gold and runes, and they have the sorcerer's trials to do it, but then that basically requires you spending money to invest in characters so you can actually get to the good rewards that are actually going to be helpful, because unless you have a 5-star downtown heroes, you're not going to be able to get a good amount of gamma runes. You're not even guaranteed a gamma rune with just a 4-star team. And so, yeah,
you're talking about the Rune Rumble that was around just recently.
Yeah, the Buzz Lightyear Zerg rune sorcerer's trial. Yeah, that's what they're called. Yeah, no, like, unless you're spending money to have those characters up at 5 stars or greater, you're not even guaranteed a gamma rune. And who knows what the eventual plan is to try to balance it, because the beta players got the great rune drops for a full year, so they have a massive stockpile, because a lot like other games, I mean, after you get kind of to the end game content, you just sim it, you just auto it every single day, you're just grabbing all those rewards, and then all of a sudden global launch comes around and they're like, you know what, we're canning it, we're we're having the rewards or worse in some cases. So you're even more stuck behind a gear grind, and the runes are going to be something that is going to hold up all of the global launch players and not touch the global players at all, which is frustrating, but there's nothing they can do because they're not going to remove them from the beta players. They just have to find a way to make it more fair for the rest of us.
Yeah, and I know that that's been kind of an interesting conversation back and forth, and it'll be interesting to see how that unfolds, because it looks like that they've committed to releasing Sorcerer Stones by what did they say, June or something?
The middle of June, that was their tentative deadline. They said they weren't necessarily beholden to that idea, but
right. So here, Tower 5, I know that that's going to become an increasing conversation. Do you have any words of wisdom for Tower 5, Towers of Endurance? Or I know that you've been, like, when we had the conversation the other day, you were talking, one of the pieces of content that you really enjoyed making was the Tower 3. And I know that that's something that was, for me anyway, substantially harder than Tower 4. So let's talk about Tower 5 first.
Yeah, Tower 5.
Out of selfishness.
Because of Tower 5, I think the Gamma Rune situation especially, the rune situation in general, but specifically the Gamma Runes are going to be even more of a problem, because for Tower 5, you're going to need, not only levels and gear, but you're going to need to have a lot of their abilities at max in order to get through it. Because a good example is for the Wilds characters requirement. If you don't have Mordu and you don't have Simba, or even a Scar that's good, like, you're gonna not be able to get past like level 3 even, because of the Wilds requirement.
Does a level 1 Simba count? Maybe my level 2 Rafiki.
I think I have a level 4. I think I have a 4-star level 40 tier 4 Simba that can only take 2 hits before he goes out in Tower 5. So you're gonna need a good Mordu. You're gonna need a good you're gonna need a good Wilds team, on top of the fact that you're gonna have to good mythical. Downtown's easy because Incredibles came out. They're fantastic, super easy to be invested in. If you're already investing in downtown villains for Zerg, then you're gonna have a good downtown villains team that's gonna be able to support you. It's just it's that mythical requirement, that Wilds requirement, that's gonna hold people up. If you didn't manage to invest in Lion King, your Wilds team is just going to be kind of holding on to Mordu +1, and mythical is even worse if you haven't been investing in the Onward characters. Manticore is really good. Hades is then obviously the next choice, but from what I've seen, I don't know anyone that's beaten Tower 5 without at least having a Hades unlocked, let alone having him pretty well invested. Manticore makes it really easy too, because Manticore is a tank that you can use to fulfill that requirement. I like Manticore. Manticore was on my main team for a really long time, but
where's your Manticore at right now?
I think Manticore, I have it 5 stars, but I'm only, I think, 10 away from having her at 6 stars.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you must have spent decently on the Onward event then, huh?
At the beginning, it was a really good launch. It was fun. It was worth it because I really liked the movie when it came out on Disney Plus, so I could actually watch it. I used Ian and Barley and Manticore as my main 3 until Dash, Jack, and Mr. Incredible were able to fill in there.
Yeah, and my Incredibles team is lacking of Dash and Jack, so that wasn't an event that I personally spent on. So what are your thoughts here? I started watching SHD Games videos the other day on the Onward event, circling back around. So what are your thoughts as far as that? Do you think that that's going to be indicative of future event cycles, or?
It depends on what their plans are for releasing characters. I don't think it's I don't think they're the kind of people that think that that's the most stable way to be investing in getting players' investment into new characters, because obviously the Incredibles all came out as a set. But the issue is, like, you only have the 3 campaigns. You have Club Conquest, and Club Conquest has Davy Jones, obviously. Sorcerer's Tournament has your Hades, your Shandu, and your Mordu. You got your club coins, which are going to get you Jack Sparrow. You have Towers of Endurance, which obviously is the only way to get spells. Even the VIP, the 7-star shop, which I guess you don't have, you can't see it, but Steamboat Mickey is the only way to unlock him is through that shop. So it's more of like, where would you add them if you don't add them as events? Without adding, you'd either have to add some campaign, which means you'd have to add levels in order to make it more fair, because you don't want people to constantly that's something that's in Disney Heroes that annoys me pretty regularly, is the fact that you go into it and they rotate every single, similar to the Elite campaigns. It's literally called the exact same thing. It's the way you unlock characters in the campaign, and they rotate that every single time they do a character shuffle update. So you might have been working on one character that was unlockable in the campaign, and all of a sudden after that update you can't unlock them at all through there, and that's super frustrating. So I don't think that they're going to be doing that, but where's the space to be releasing new characters other than putting them in events? And I hate to say it, but events are the way that they're making all their money. For Zerg, for instance, it's $150 to get 200 pieces of Zerg, which is enough to get him to 5 stars plus a little bit. You have the second Zerg pack right there. So that, like 6-star character, $150 plus, and that's all the people that are investing in that character are getting money off of it. So the issue is they're making money off of all the events. They have no other place to be releasing characters. So I don't even know if I can trust, going back to the question itself, I don't think I can trust the event cadence at all, because they might be releasing just new events constantly, like every three events that we see, of the ones we've seen, they'll be releasing a new event, because if you invested heavily, like in Incredibles, a lot of people invested pretty heavily, so you're not going to you don't care as much when the Incredibles event comes back around, and you're not going to obviously be spending on a $100 Dash pack if they were to give you something like that, since you already have Dash unlocked in the 7 stars. So they're going to have to be doing other things to make their own money. It's a stupid way to think about it, but that's how they think about it. They're looking at their bottom line constantly. So yeah, we'll see. I think we'll probably do 3. My guess is that we'll see Onward, we'll see Aladdin, we'll see Lion King, and then we'll see another new event after Lion King, in between Lion King and Toy Story, because they need to make money. And running these events after a lot of people invested heavily right at global launch just isn't going to make them as much money as it did the last time they came around. And newer people might not be willing to invest right now, since they're just kind of trying it out, and the community's kind of already progressed a little bit. But this is all just baseless speculation and how I'm viewing it.
Speaking of making money, let's talk here. Passholder Season 2 is about to come to an end, and there was a lot of unhappy rumblings as far as how Glue is changing the Passholder season here for the past. And the biggest one was that they reduced the gold payout from, I think, 1 million on Passholder Gold to 600,000 coins. But then, it's some adjustments. So what are your thoughts on Passholder Season 3 that's coming up here? Are you a Gold Passholder season personally now?
I had 1 and 2, yeah, but 1 was a waste, other than the fact that I got a quick jump onto getting up to tier 4, because there's a lot of really good tier 4 gear that they dropped with Passholder 1. 2 was good because you're getting some of the downtown characters, and that was just the last little pieces I needed. But I don't know if I'll even do 3, because they dropped the number of Gamma runes. They said they balanced it out by giving some Sorcerer's Tournament currency. They're giving out an ultimate chest, which doesn't even guarantee a character. It guarantees you 8 pieces of a character. And so, yeah, I don't know if Passholder Season 3 is honestly going to be worth spending the money unless you're spending on everything that they're giving you. But just 1 ultimate chest, it doesn't guarantee a character. There's that list of characters. I guess at best you could get 8 Zerg tokens out of it, if you were to be one of the lucky few that managed to get Zerg out of that. It's just, yeah, I think Zerg has the lowest probability out of coming out of an ultimate chest. So yeah, 0.03% of getting a full Zerg. And that's like the best you could get. I guess Hades would also be a good one, but yeah, no,
Well, let's just be real. Pulling a 80, any 80, whether you like the character or not, would be a pretty spectacular snack in one of these ultimate chests.
mhm.
So
No,
I mean, you're talking something that's only 400 gems normally anyway.
yeah, no, I mean they kept the gems the same. They're still keeping the amounts of almost everything. They added some more exchange currency, and they're giving us an ultimate chest. But I mean, for free, I can win a conquest and get my own ultimate chest there. So, I mean, the other thing was like I finished Passholder 2 in 8 days, just from doing like the daily refreshes and really pushing hard for gear,
Right.
which is something that I just do constantly anyway. And I finished it way fast. I think when they sent out the poll of how far along are you in Passholder 2, I was already at level 38. And I finished it with the last one, I think a day later, just with the normal amount of refreshes and completing a couple quests. So if anything, I think
So
like they might even just make it so Passholder 3 is harder to level up, which then would make it even less worth my $10.
so that being said, are you planning on doing a video about Passholder Season 3 if it's worth it, and kind of do a deep dive? I know that we talked a little bit about that the other day.
Yeah, I'm gonna wait to see it in person because I think based on the fact that so many people were progressing through it so fast, I honestly believe that they might have made it so that's harder to get the pass holder experience. And I'll probably have a video both on the rewards and whether or not you can actually complete it as quick as you completed pass holder 2, or even if it's worth it to. I mean, you're gonna complete it if you complete it in 6 days and the rewards aren't as good. I don't know if it's worth you to spend the $10. But yeah, once we see it go live in the game, that's probably when I'll make a video on it. But for now, the speculation that I have and the fear that I have is that it's gonna be significantly less worth our money.
Gotcha. So what you're we're getting ready to have a conversation with the what do you guys call it over there at Sigma?
It's the Sigma cluster, I guess. Alliance is another term that we use a lot, but basically it's 7 clubs under one roof.
Okay.
Yeah, no, and that'll be really fun. As far as what I really enjoy about being in a large alliance rather than just in an independent club is that we constantly have an influx. Because we cater to everybody. So rather than just saying you cater to everybody, you can have a hyper focused club, you can have casual clubs, all within like the same group. And then if somebody that was somewhat casual decides they want to, they're like, you know what, I have some disposable income. I'm really loving the game. I'm willing to spend. I'm going to be playing a lot more. I want to go something a little bit more competitive. So we're able to do that. People that come in later, we're planning on growing constantly. So people that are out there that are interested in joining are always welcome. If we get more people, then we will just make more clubs. What we really want is we want to have like a large home for people. We have 7 clubs. We have over 300 members in total. And our goal is just to continue to grow and continue to be like this. We want the top club to be like top 15, probably not in the top 10 because the beta players and Briar Patch have such a jump on us. But and Summer Score is a useless marker of how strong a club is anyway. But beyond that, I mean, that's kind of the fun. So being in the top club, we have people like the goal is to have all 50 slots be people that are playing every single day, that are investing a little bit of their own money on the side as it's available. And for the most part, like kind of pushing up to the top as much as possible. And then like if people aren't comfortable with that, they can stay within the same group, still talk to the same people, just be with a different group inside of the larger whole. That movement happens all the time. Within Marvel Strike Force, Sigma's 30 plus, there's 30 guilds right now. I don't remember what they're called in Strike Force, but Star Wars, it's 16, I think,
Okay.
guilds in Star Wars.
Now, did the same people play all 3 games?
There is a little bit of crossover. There are a couple people from Strikeforce that are helping us out as we're starting Sorcerers. That they're just kind of playing for fun. As it turns out, it's really hard to have enough money to be competitive in all 3 games, let alone just 2 of them. And so most people that are there are kind of just doing it for fun, keeping the game up on the side. And that's kind of how we run it, is that, yeah, I like, for instance, I'm in the Sigma Alliance for Star Wars, but I don't invest any of my money, just kind of my time, just on the side for fun. So I play it, but there's some other people that are more competitive in Strikeforce that came over here for a little bit, decided that the game was, that they're more invested in Strikeforce, and so that's kind of where they're spending their money and their time, and it's more power to them. As far as I know, I don't know of anyone in the alliance right now that's a heavy spender in both. I would be surprised if anyone was, but that's just my take, knowing how much people have been spending in all 3 games.
Well, on that note, I've got to put a request to subscribe here to the channel so that you can make sure to catch up with that conversation. Super looking forward to the upcoming conversation with the Sigma crew, and we've got that planned for Tuesday. So subscribe here to Disney Arena Pro, and I'm going to work on getting the tech figured out so that we can hopefully multi-stream that, like talking about the other day, into the MintChocoChip channel there. And depending on how ambitious I get here over the weekend between now and Tuesday, might even set that up on Twitch and Facebook as well, just to increase the exposure there for Sigma and Disney Arena Pro and MintChocoChip and everything related to Disney Sorcerers Arena. So is Sigma a club that you've been with since global launch?
No, so I when I started global launch, a couple people from the other Disney game that I play started just up a casual club, but then through making content and through just a little bit more of a time investment, I decided that I was going to be much more invested over here. And so I went over to Sigma, because knowing Sigma from Star Wars and from just the general feel, because I joined the server before, because I was in Star Wars. I was like, it's fun, and just decided over time, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna come over here, be competitive, get into the top club, make content as much as I could, and that's kind of how I've kept it. So I guess I've been in the club here for probably 2 weeks, maybe 3 weeks now. I don't know how long the game's even been going, so right. I've lost track of time. Thanks to
quarantine. No, that can happen here. So interesting times here in 2020. So what is there a particular character, like let's talk about your top 3 favorite characters that you enjoy the most playing, not necessarily the ones that get the most play time, but just the ones that you have, that you doing whatever, that you like their abilities or whatever.
I am a huge fan of Jack. I know he's not super great in the end game because he is slower and random, and his offense isn't nearly as good as a lot of the other characters that are out in the game. But something about seeing Jack just throw up, like he lights on fire. It takes a lot of Gamma runes, but I invested pretty heavily into unlocking him. So I was like, I'm gonna get it. So I got Metal. He has the ability to turn Metal, which actually has a 2-turn stun. That's Polymorph. It's the special upgrade to. It's a 2-turn stun if you get it. It is random though, so like there's a lot to say about the fact that it's not consistent. You're not getting that stun every time. You're not getting the fire that does a lot of continuous damage every single time. So you aren't guaranteed to be doing hot by having him, but he is so much fun to have because there's a lot to be said about how much fun it is to use Jack, get some random craziness happening.
Sure, absolutely.
So he's by far my favorite fun character that I have. I also have Dash, and I use Dash a lot. Dash at 7 stars is a problem for most teams.
Well, he does do quite well. I think overly well evading, especially when his charges are high stacked. So
yeah, I mean he's counterable. That's the good thing is that they didn't make him invincible. He's counterable. I mean Zerg's a really great counter once people are able to keep Zerg alive long enough. Sorcerer Mickey, who everybody has, is very, very, very useful. Get some brooms on him as soon as he builds up some charge, and it almost always drops him down to either 2 or even none. So honestly, it's more frustrating for me with Dash to face Mickey because I know that I'm not gonna be able to keep charge for very long because
right.
Mickey's so fast, especially with the Shan Yu bonus speed. So that kind of is the next character, I guess. So it's those are the 2 that I use the most, and then the character that I'm most excited about that I've been kind of trying to work on is Mordu. I haven't finished Shan Yu yet, so I only have Mordu unlocked with very little investment, but I'm really excited to get him working. He has a good taunt. He has a lot of health. It scales really well. He can stun, which is very useful. So he's the next one to work on once I finish Shan Yu at 7 stars. So he's the next character I'm the most excited about having.
Yeah, no, he's one of my more recent additions, and you can see that I've pretty heavily invested in his abilities too. So I think he's actually fully upgraded besides the tier 6, which I'm not a high enough player level yet, level 50. So I've got a few more levels before I can get him upgraded to tier 6. But he's definitely on my list. So what about a character that is not currently in the game that you anticipate could be in the game? What character or 2 or 3 characters would you like to see?
I really want to see Rapunzel. So Rapunzel's in Disney Heroes as a healer, and it's very, very fun to have. Plus frying pans. I mean, who doesn't love frying pans? No, so I mean, that's one that I've definitely would like to see. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of been the hard thing because I see Zeus is on the radar. He's already kind of in the game, and I'm super excited for Zeus to come in. Hercules is one of my favorite movies from the Disney universe, and so I'm excited to see him eventually come into the game.
Right. It will be quite interesting here to see what their roadmap looks like for the coming weeks and months. Do you have any speculation as far as when we can expect some new characters?
Like I said, I think they're probably going to run. They're gonna run with Onward because it came out with launch. They're gonna run. I think. Yeah, no. Aladdin was the second one. They'll run Aladdin again, and then they'll run Lion King. And if their plan is to just only release characters with events, rather than increasing player level caps or anything of the sort, I imagine that we probably won't see another character until a new event comes out, which I would imagine won't come until after Lion King.
Yeah, you think that'll cycle before we see some new ones. It'll be interesting to see. So anyway, let me take a look here if we've got any questions here on our live stream. So I'm going to open that up, and if we see any pop open here, I'll take a look in a minute. But
it's just my wife right now.
Well, we've got a few watching here, so we'll see if there's any other questions that pop in here. So do you have any? I'll give you the opportunity here, MintChocoChip. I'll pass the mic to you as far as asking some questions.
No, so So I know we've been talking about a little bit about what you've been wanting to see Disney Arena Pro be like. So, uh, what's the biggest feature that you're looking on adding in the near future over in Disney Arena Pro?
Yeah, the biggest thing is really, and I started having a little bit of initial conversations with that, and I don't know how often that you pop in there on the community chat on Discord, but the Club Leaders Guild is something that most interested in as far as bringing club leaders together just to figure out how that we can make this community better for everybody, and the additional responsibilities that we have as club leaders, how that can be more easily facilitated so that people in our clubs enjoy playing the game more, and just to make it a more fun community, because that's one of the things that I've been most excited about as far as from an engagement standpoint, and seeing where that unfolds. And then the because I think Discord is really like a micro community as far as what's really available. I think that you have to be a pretty um, and I don't know what the numbers are as far as people that are actively engaged in Discord versus the larger player base as a whole, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. No, I feel like a good chunk of people are on the Discord. The official Discord's pretty good. It's over 10K members last time I looked at the stats. So it's a good chunk. I don't think it's obviously a majority of the player base. I feel like they have well more than that. But we'll have to.
Right.
They obviously don't let us be privy to any of that information. I don't know any game that does say how many people have play regularly, but I do think that there's a lot to say about the fact that it's still available. It's obviously on the news feed. Something I've been trying to figure out is how to even get onto the news feed, because they've started promoting YouTube videos over there.
Yeah, I've noticed that's and you're talking about the in-game news feed, correct?
Yeah, so the little letter on the top left, if you go over to the news from there, you should see
Oh,
Tony's newest video just got put up there. So
was that today?
yep, that was today. Tony just got his video put up there. Granted, he already has a pretty good following. Same thing with Cubs and SHD. Those are, and Cozy. Cozy actually got on there with like his 5th video that he had ever made, which I thought was pretty awesome.
Yeah, on his there it is right there. I see the one here from Unstable Gamer, and that's actually
Oh no, yeah,
with
sorry, you're right. It's unstable now, Tony.
yeah, yeah,
That,
yeah. The and that's one we've actually got a upcoming conversation Gameside Chat with the Unstable Gamer here on Saturday. So again, another reason to subscribe to Disney Arena Pro. And I'm going to take a look over here, give some shout out to Tom in YouTube chat over here. So
yeah, so who do I run Onward trio with? So fun fact, up until I had an Incredibles trio, I just used the Onward trio. So since speed is king, what you really need is you really need to to get your team out as fast as possible and or slow the other team. So the real trick to using the Onward trio is to put them with Sean Yu and either Mickey or Aladdin. Because what you need, Ian has good speed. At endgame, especially, he has good speed, but he doesn't get obviously any speed boosts. None of the 3 of them have a leadership character or leadership ability. So you're really stuck with the fact that they work together, and you're gonna have to have some sort of either leadership that's gonna make them work better, which is hard because there isn't really not a lot you can do to make them much better. So the way I've always done is either put them with Shan Yu or put them with Mickey, because you can use that to control speed. So because in the end, what you really want to be doing is you want Manticore to taunt on their first turn. You want Ian to set up as many harmful effects as possible. Use Barley. Barley passes over an extra turn directly over to Ian. And then Ian on his next turn can use his Arcane Lightning. Which if you've watched any of my streams from when I was obviously much smaller and had very little idea of what I was doing, that was the team I was running. And that's kind of like the turn order you always want to be doing is Manticore taunts as soon as Manticore can, because Manticore's taunt also does put up a harmful effect in a blind. And it hits adjacent characters, which would be 3 if you're hitting any of the middle. And then what you're going to be looking at is as soon as Barley can get his first turn, Barley's going to use his first move to pass over an ability of extra magic, which will give Ian immediately his lightning. So what you want to do is you want to slow down the team here. Yeah, headbutt or use his bird. So then use his middle ability that affects adjacent characters. So it's going to spread some harmful effects over. Yeah, no, not strong enough. But in theory, so now you're going to throw up a taunt with Manticore, which is the middle ability for Manticore.
I don't know if Manticore can take any hits here. I was actually going to stun Zerg and see if we could get
that
him.
also works. Yeah, I mean, my Manticore has always been kind of a little bit stronger. Okay, so then in here you would use Quests of Yore, which is the far right ability, onto Ian, and then Ian
which is dead.
be able to use his Arcane Lightning. So that's always been the way that I've run them. That seems to be the best turn order in general. With investment into Barley, you can also increase speed meter if you get the level 3 upgrade onto his Quests of Yore ability, which allows you to give Ian basically an instant turn as soon as you pass it over to him. Which the whole point is you want to pass that over to him as quick as possible, because it's called Voltar Thunderseer. If Barley's a teammate, then it attacks all the opponents, but if not, then it would only attack a primary target and adjacent opponents. So that's really why you want to keep them all there. But that's kind of that's how I've always run them. I'm probably going to be messing around with the team now that I'm going to be able to get them up to probably at least 6 stars on this go around, if not 7.
So we've got another question here from Ema94. You think they are going to move away from a speed meta soon?
No, I think if anything, when the stones come in, it's going to make speed matter even more. The way stones work is that similar to mods, but you can only have 1 at a time, so you can only increase speed or offense or health or defense. I think those are the only 4 that they have stones for. And so they're really that's the, like, since you can only be affecting 1, everyone either goes for offense or speed. So you obviously put speed on Shan Yu, you put speed on Mickey. If you're using the Classic Kingdom team, which is Shan Yu, Aladdin, Mickey, plus either Zerg, but usually seeing like Hades and Mordu, right? You're gonna basically put in as much as you can to get speed onto Shan Yu and to Mickey to let them go first, and then you're basically going to hope that Hades can survive long enough, and you're going to put more offense on him. He has the second highest offense in the entire game. Some other characters, like speed doesn't matter, so like Mordu and Hades, like you're not going to worry about getting them faster. You're mostly worried about giving them the quickest speed, the most amount of damage as quick as you can. But yeah, so speed meta, I don't see it going away unless they fundamentally change the game. And I feel like it would actually do more harm than good if they tried to. Like here's the thing. There's really only 2 ways you can fix the speed meta. One, you can remove speed entirely from the game and make it just completely RNG about who goes next, which doesn't seem fair or fun. And the second way is to make it so that every character has to go first before a character can move twice. It's something that is a possible solution, but in the end, that's going to turn so many people off because you've invested in like Dash, you've invested in Shan Yu, you've invested in Mickey, you've invested in Aladdin, because they're the ones that are doing damage, they're doing speed control. And if speed suddenly stopped being important, then people would probably leave. It would do more harm than good. I think the best way they can try to handle it in the future is to, until you get Blue Fairy Magic and you can remove slows or I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, like, you're always going to be up against overpowered things, and every single time they release something that tried to fix it, then you end up with something else that's a problem. Like if you had some sort of character that could make it so that make it some spell to like remove speed meter from the entire team, or who knows what that you would try to do in order to add some fairness into speed. I think it would either create something else that's even harder to beat, and that's a slippery slope that just turns into a really uncontrollable slide of a game where you're constantly just trying to break the new meta break the old meta with a new meta, or you're just going to have to live with it and understand that this is kind of the way it's always going to be. I really hope that they don't try to break speed up, and they find other ways to make it so that speed isn't the only way to win a battle. But we'll have to see.
And they've had these dynamics because beta's been when was March 2019, right?
Yeah, it was right a little over a year ago that they've been having it up.
And I know that they made some fairly substantial changes from especially on the PvP aspect. But anyway, I'm going to take a look over here and see if there's any additional questions here before we wrap it up. We're getting close to the hour. I'm really trying to keep Gameside Chat here, and we'll circle back here too. We'll have MintChocoChip is going to be co-hosting the segment on Tuesday evening. So again, make sure you subscribe because that's going to be an interesting conversation with the Sigma cluster. Mint's going to be co-hosting that here with me on Tuesday. But on that note, any closing thoughts here as we're getting ready to step into the weekend, MintChocoChip?
Nah, I mean, just keep having fun. Remember, it's a game. Like, don't get so caught up in everything that you forget that this is supposed to be fun. If you're not having fun, then either do something different or talk to someone else.
And that's actually a great segue, because I think I'm going to leave on the one improvement that I would like to see, and I've been hearing this a lot regularly, is a forfeit option in PvP Arena. Mm-hmm. So not only can you not make that play faster, but then if it's an obvious loss, then you have to sit there and wait for the battle to time out. So that'll be my closing thought on that. But we'll circle back here. We'll be back just in a couple days with the Sigma Cluster crew, and looking forward to seeing what you've got here for Passholder Season 3. That's one that I am on the fence as well about, to see if it's really worth it. And I know that my wife has been super supportive, and I love that Mint Wife here, I've saw her pop up a couple times on the YouTube chat. So love the supportive wives. That's definitely what I would consider the secret sauce, and I'm sure that it is for you too there, sir. Mm-hmm. And looking forward to catching up. I know you're moving here I've got the Rockies, and I don't even think that that's coming in on the background, but those people that have seen any of my videos, I've got the Colorado Rockies, so you'll be out here in the Rockies before too long, from what I understand.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be fun. But more content is always going to be coming out. Subscribe to my channel, subscribe over here. Watch out for the next live stream with Unstable. It's also good. It's going to be better than what I have, because he's been doing it for much longer than I.
Well, and hopefully this is more on my end, since I'm the host. So hopefully I'll be upping my game. I know that I've got a mic coming in tomorrow, and working on. This was a shift that I made here, where we repurposed a guest bedroom in our downtown high-rise apartment, and it's now a home office that's very much a work in progress, because just did that like a week or so ago. So looking to get a better setup here and up my production level quality on the live stream, because I actually think it's easier to do a quality live stream than it is, because I'm too much of a perfectionist. I would rather do it and then not do any post-production, because then I always want to make it a little better on the post-production side. So
absolutely.
All right, well, it's great catching up, MintChocoChip, and looking forward to seeing what you've got. We'll have some links down below to his channel. Also, we've got his channel on Disney Arena Pro. That's one of the things that I haven't spoken that much about, but we'll have some more content as far as the future opportunities for content creators at Disney Arena Pro, such as yourself.
Mm-hmm.
All right, peace out, everybody. We're bringing this to a wrap. Until next time, folks.
Yep. See ya.